Good afternoon, everyone. Ghana's no longer going to sell cocoa to Switzerland. They're going to pull back on the ag exports and the gold exports. They understand the West African monsoon shifting more natural above ground rainfall. They're going to become a major agricultural producer. Up the value chain they go. Speaking of food assistance, food stamps in the SNAP program increasing 20%, a way to avoid hungry people on the street asking for change. Gas prices increasing this summer, they're already telling you. Shrinkflation hits once again, paying the same but getting less product. Deflection, something of a blizzard, and some of the earliest snowfalls ever recorded in Lesotho, southern Africa. How about the record snowfalls in Korea and Russia happening too? With so many signs around, the positioning's happening and there's no going back. Investors could see some of the strongest price action in gold this year, according to Wells Fargo, which sees signs of a developing rally. The driver behind this new spark in prices is diminishing supply growth, and it could take gold to $2,200 an ounce. Gold supplies have flipped from excessive to deficient, and such times in the past have sparked some of gold's strongest price rallies. And many believe we're on the eve of a new commodity bull supercycle, which would only be the seventh since the year 1800. Patriot Gold Group has the no fee for life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold and silver, and you may be eligible for the no fee for life IRA. So go ahead and give the folks at Patriot Gold Group a call to discuss physical gold and silver. And the knowledge that Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer 5 years in a row from 2016 until present. Click the link in the description box below for more information. And now on with the video. Going to start you over here in Ghana with the kente cloths. I've always been a fan of these. Such intricate pattern and craftsmanship in the fabrics. Kente, if you want to see more of the designs. Any image search will work for you. And this article here, why Ghana will no longer sell cocoa, that's raw cocoa beans, to Switzerland. Now, the raw materials that Ghana usually exports, they're finding that if they go up the value chain and produce the powder and the chocolate in country or send that into Africa, they can get a much higher price than the pittance they receive now to sell their cocoa beans. Now, why would also these other countries like the Ivory Coast, Benin, Togo also say, whoa, we're going to stop exporting raw product and go up the value chain? What just changed across these nations? This understanding that the new grow zone is now in earnest emerging across that area in dark green that says 13.8 million square kilometers. You'll have to include coastal Ghana, Togo, Benin, Ivory Coast as well, but the main grow zone will be in the Sahel. And why would I say that? Well, if we're looking on the multi-thousand-year cycle shift of the West African monsoon, more rainfall traverses these areas, taking them from deserts into lush grasslands. And additionally, there must be monies out there coming for the well drilling and infrastructure for the Moorzak Basin, underground water resources. So all these are combining into, there's a massive shift happening in Africa. These countries know they can grow more food and go higher up the value chain, cut everybody off who used to import the raw product and then sell them a finished product. Things are definitely shifting here. Gold as well. Ghana would like to stop exports of gold. And that's what caught me off guard, because amongst the elite, there must be some other signals happening. Previously, Ghana would export the gold and then receive chemicals and pharmaceuticals from Switzerland. But on a dime, the flip is no more raw materials, no more gold. So is the value of gold set to increase exponentially, where Ghana understands if they hold it for another 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, that it'll be worth 10 times, 100 times more than it is now? What is happening across these nations where new actions after hundreds of years suddenly manifest in a matter of months? And also looking at Face-to-Face Africa through the website there was an article about the British marauders and how many treasures they'd stolen from that area that are now going to be returned out of the British Museum. But this one caught my eye. Because if that is a horse, what are the size of those people? And notice on the left side there, the staff of an eagle being held. And we can go back to stories of the Anunnaki, but some of this is really ancient knowledge being passed down through Africa. And most interestingly, this is not displayed in the British Museum. I wonder why not. Stolen but not displayed. Returned finally. Now speaking of food, this headline here, quietly preparing for food stamp increase. I absolutely believe that everybody has the right to food, water, shelter, and safety. But what I see here is a way to stave off street agitation, for a better term, by increasing food assistance by 20%. All that's doing is stopping hungry bellies from on the street asking for change for how much time do you think it will buy with the inflation we're seeing? 3 months, 6 months? No, not even. Prices are rising so fast right now. 3 months, and this will have to change again. Seems like a test the water, dip your toe in the deep end here, see how quickly or how much can be gotten away with without approval through the entire normal process. So increase the amount of money people can spend in the supermarkets so they're not on the street asking you to increase the amount of money they can spend in the supermarket. This will be the first of many, just like we've seen with stimulus checks and everything else. There's first and there's second and the third. What if it happens it's a 20% increase every month just to keep up with inflation? Now, reading through the article, they talk about the USDA uses something called a market basket where they take into consideration all the staples, the prices they're rising, and it comes up with a numerical value. And since that's increased and surpassed what's considered runaway inflation, something has to be done. Now, if the USDA says the market basket, which is mainly like the grains, vegetables, and these types of things, they don't put Coca-Cola in there. They're only talking about wheat, corn, and vegetables, these types of things, the base, sugar, flour, has run away such pricing increases that they're like, oops, people can't really afford to eat themselves as much. It's going to cut into their calorie intake. So I'll say it again. It is a backdoor way to stop hungry people from going to the streets. This is the change that happens every grand solar minimum, and this is the thing that's most terrifying for the elite across the world to see this cycle repeating. And here we are again. The hungry people are about to take to the streets. So throw them a little more cake. Give them a little more circus. And hopefully they'll stay home. Speaking of increases, inflation, shrinkflation is a term I've done a few videos on. Christian at Ice Age Farmer's done a fair few shrinkflation videos as well. This is where a manufacturer decreases the amount of product in their boxes or rolls, for this example, and then charges you the same price. The red circles there show you how many plies there are, how many sheets are in that roll. It was 160 sheets, now it's 140. The price stays the same. That's a 14.3% increase. Thanks for shopping. Next. Gas prices are increasing, but this is the picture that kind of sums it up. You need these tankers to come in to fill your local petrol station. Used to be a well-oiled machine, no pun intended, with the petrochemical. They're saying now there aren't enough tanker truck drivers to get the gasoline to the gas stations. Do we have something called the military? Because it was sure good enough to roll them out to do an enormous amount of other things at a moment's notice instantly to keep the flow of things moving. Would this not be also more important? Oh, wait, no, that's a private company. They're going to charge you at least $3 a gallon. They're looking for minimum 3, up to 4. There just aren't enough drivers. Okay, another stealth increase. Maybe that's the inverse. Gasoline rises, you get more food. At some point in the extremely near future, everything's going to run away. And perhaps that's why you're seeing so much control over the food distribution and buy points. Got to stand outside. Only a certain amount of people in the store. You can only buy this many. You've already been trained for rationing. Imagine that. A year ahead of time. Who would have known? So jumping back to Africa. Heading down to South Africa. Actually, Lesotho. Something of a blizzard Something of a blizzard. Some of the record earliest, deepest snows ever with some of the strongest winds. And it was just called something of a blizzard. It either is a blizzard or it's not. It's something of a hurricane, something of a typhoon, something of a huge deflection from a huge anomaly that is so far off the scale that they're really trying to not report on it. There's some nice images here in Lesotho. Deep, 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 deep snow. Did I say deep snows? Yeah, that's how rare and out of season it is right now for the depth of snow accumulating. But then I look across the watchers' news feeds again. Unseasonable snowfall burying South Korean mountains. Central Russia experiencing record spring snow. Crimea exceptionally cold. And we need to go down into these grow zone areas. And we've seen here in the United States where exceptional cold had ripped through the central grow belt way late in the season. There's a lot of implications pushing society now that, in earnest, the movement and the shift has begun. The message is out for those leading nations. The message is not out for you, the regular citizen, because the regular citizen is going to rock the boat and tip the boat over. You're just being directed down the cattle chute. But it is going to be all about the food. You can see it's about the food. Please get food ready. Grow food, or if you cannot grow food, long-term storable foods. 2-week or the 4-week emergency food supply, My Patriot Supply, and Adapt 2030. They also have 1 month, 6 month, and 1 year storable food packs. Take a look at the website, see what they have below. It's a great way to support the channel. Every purchase you make from My Patriot Supply helps me bring you more research just like this to keep you and your families more grand solar minimum prepared. These changes are vast and they seem to have upticked in exponential fashion here in the last month or so. I'll keep you abreast to the best I can as the change is inbound. I do thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you next time.